Hi chaps, John here. Welcome to some very special news that we have this weekend about a new kit that we're actually releasing. In fact, it's 3 new kits and they all go by the name Banshee. And what is Banshee, I hear you cry? Well, it is essentially an evolution of the Scrappy aircraft that we produced a number of years ago now. The Scrappy was used primarily as a trainer, a way to train you to build Microaces kits using the materials that we use in our kits. And also, obviously, an easy 3-channel flyer. Well, this is essentially an evolution of that in that we now have 4 channels. The wing position has moved, and there are some elements that we've used in this particular aircraft that we haven't used in previous, such as, of course, well, we've got the 4 channels. We have ailerons. There are only a few kits in our range that do have ailerons, but this is in a single engine sports aerobat. So it's an enormous amount of fun to fly. It still flies in a relatively small area. It still uses a 1-cell battery, but it's brushless, and it can also take full advantage of the SR3X stabilization system. So we actually, the announcement is this weekend, and we're actually going to a show, so I'm going to keep this relatively brief because there's lots to do, lots to prepare, and we're off tomorrow, and it's going to be wet and wild, unfortunately, with high winds and lots of rain. We've got our British summer back, thankfully, or not, as the case may be. But the weekend before last, we were at Woodspring Wings, and we took the Banshee along for people to see. We've got 2 types and 3 kits that we're releasing this weekend. So we showed both types, and the feedback was amazing. We also in the evening got to fly them, and also got to share that experience as well, and had other people fly them too, and other people who actually probably had a lot more experience of flying than myself, and certainly a lot more skill than myself. And the feedback was absolutely incredible, which is great for me, and which is great for you guys, and obviously the kit, because it flies, it performs, it does what you want it to. It's a thing of beauty. I love flying it. So anyway, let me not go on any longer, and let's start looking at the aircraft itself. So here we go, guys. This is our first Banshee. This is the Airace, and it is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a 4-channel aerobatic racing machine, and you can see with regards to the makeup of the aircraft, you've obviously got the tail feathers, you've got the ailerons, the actual wing is a symmetrical airfoil. Let's just have a look at that. So it's got some shape to it as well. It's got a central spar running down there, and we've got a clear canopy. You look in the clear canopy, you can actually, those that, as I said before, are familiar with our old method of aileron control, you can see just about through there the aileron arm, which is used to rotate the torsion rods that are connected to the ailerons themselves. There are a number of features of this aircraft. Obviously, you've got the sturdy undercarriage that it inherits from the Scrappy, but obviously you also, you can see that these independent wheels. This is, as you can see, this is quite a, this has been flown and flown and flown again. It's and crashed a lot by me, so it is very resilient. I mean, you can see there on the wing. There's a bit of tape there, just where I went through a wire. In fact, something took the wing out, but it's very repairable. And I've learned an enormous amount flying this particular aircraft. The hatch, it's very simply, it's here, held on with magnets firmly, with magnets. And underneath you can see here on this one, we're actually using separates. We've got our central board just there, and then we've got two servos sitting either side, carbon fiber rods in the control wires as well as the wires themselves, so it's nice and stiff. And we've got the business end here with the one cell one cell brushless motor, providing us with a decent amount of power. The battery sits in the hatch here, and it sits in the little cavity that's available. We're using the 300 milliamp hour, but you can, I mean, it's set up to use a number of different arrangements there. You can use longer batteries, wider batteries. They can all sit into this little area here. Plugs in there, and away you go. Obviously, plug the aircraft in. So that's the BANSHEE Airace. So I'm trying to get his battery out. There we go. Which we will see a video of being flown rather better than I can fly it at the end of this video. Let's just take that off to one side, and the other one that's actually got a lot of love for it at our pre-launch. This is the BANSHEE BANSHEE, as it says there, the BANSHEE BANSHEE, and this is obviously a two-wing aerobatic aircraft. This is actually a fairly slow flyer for what it is, but obviously with the stuff up front there, it can really turn the speed as well, turn the screws as it were. It's got ailerons on both wings. They're fairly substantial. They get a lot of movement as well. In fact, let's plug it in and I'll show you this one. And these are two options that you can decide when you purchase the aircraft. Is you can either go for the, like here you've got the all-in-one board that's got the onboard servos, or you can go down the separates route. There are cutouts, well, there are scores to show you where to cut out for the servos should you have the separate system, or obviously you just put the board onto the plate there, and everything's good to go. So the biplane and the Airace, it's quite hard to distinguish when you're looking at both of them, but they both have exactly the same fuselage. It's just the wings and tail feathers that change, as we did on our Scrappy as well. Yeah, the fuselage remains exactly the same, but you get a very different aircraft by changing the wings and the wing setup, and obviously adding another wing on this one. Right, let's get this plugged in, and I'll show you what I mean with some of the stuff I've been saying. Okay, let's plug that in. Okay, let's just pop that into place. You see, this one's a little more advanced. We've even got the little battery graphic there on the inside. Or you can hear the SR3X stabilization twitching. So I just wanted to show you this aileron movement. So you can imagine that the roll rate with that is quite substantial. So you can see we've got all the other controls as well. So lots of power there, and obviously on the switch I can actually turn off the stabilization too. So we've got two stages of stabilization. So we've got a moderate, and then we've got a max. And using the software that is available, the app to control the board. You can get a little plug-in device. You can plug it into your PC, and you can alter all those settings as well. So you can change the gain on all three axes, and set it up for the two switch positions as well as obviously the third switch position, which is off. So this is the Banshee Bype, a consummate aerobat. I'm still really getting to grips with it. I love how it flies. I'm managing to keep it inverted now. I'm doing outside loops, stall turns, and that sort of thing are really simple now. They're almost second nature. So this is a great aircraft to learn a bit of aerobatics. Not just your standard loops and rolls, but things like snap rolls and barrel rolls and all sorts of wonderful new things that I'm trying out now. So very excited, and in such a small format too. Something that can be chucked into the boot and of the trunk of the car, the boot of the car, without taking up any space really at all. So yeah, there we go. That's the Banshee Bype. So let's round this off with how you can go about adding one or two or three of these aircraft to your collection. Oh, the Airace comes in a different livery as well. It's available in two liveries. So if you've got two people in your club or your family that have this great idea that you can race them, that's exactly what they're for. So you've got two different aircraft that you can throw around the sky and race each other with. So go and have a look on the website and check out the new livery. Check out the whole range of Banshee aircraft now that they've been released. And if you want to purchase them, one of them, all of them, there is a 20% discount to pre-order if you order before the end of this month, which is the month of July. So you've got 10 days. 30 days, that's September, June, July, yes. So you've got 10 days from today which is the 21st. I'm actually recording this on the 20th, but it's the 21st to get that 20% discount. And what we plan to do is we will be actually releasing the kit and sending out those pre-orders in October of this year. So the stumbling block that we've always had when bringing out new kits has been the assembly guide and getting that sorted. That probably takes as long, if not longer, to put together than designing the actual aircraft. So we're doing it a little bit differently this time. And because our video assembly guides have been so successful, and people have really appreciated having that holding hand and the level of detail that a video provides, that we've decided with the Banshee we're actually not going to have a printed assembly guide. We will have something printed in the box. You'll have a check through list, a quick start guide if you like, and then you'll have QR codes that will lead you on to the stages of the build through our video assembly guides on our YouTube channel. The other wonderful thing about that is that of course if I speak clearly enough and don't use too many colloquial terms, then the whole translation process through the subtitles works really well as well. So if English is not your first language and it's a lot easier for you to understand me in French or German or Italian or Spanish or Portuguese or whatever language it may be, then you can switch on the subtitles and get a translation of the instructions as I build, which is fantastic. the sort of money people had to go to and the lengths people had to go to get those all that documentation translated. Now it's all done for free, which is fantastic. Anyway, so we've got the Banshees now available to pre-order. If you buy before the end of July, 20% discount. Thereafter, we will still have an offer. I don't know what percentage it'll be. It certainly won't be 20, but we will still appreciate your commitment to Microaces by placing orders that you know you're not going to get until a couple of months after you've placed them. So we will certainly continue rewarding that, as we have done in the past with our other builds. But look, hey, go and take a look at the Banshee. I would also really appreciate your feedback on what you think about it as it's released. We will then start the process of bringing it together as a product. It's almost there anyway. I've even started numbering the parts on the sprue. So, how long could it take? Could we release it early? Let's not overpromise. So, I hope you can appreciate that. Obviously, we need to keep making more kits. We need to keep pushing new products out there, and I love the whole process of designing and testing and then promoting and showing you guys. But I think what has been best was to get somebody who really knows their stuff when it comes to flying radio controlled aircraft, and big radio controlled aircraft as well, and aerobatic radio controlled aircraft, flying this thing around. And he actually flew the Airace, and getting live feedback as he flew it, which is fantastic. I'm going to roll the video now so that you can see it. I'm not going to cut it. I started and finished it whilst he was in the air. There's no takeoff or landing or anything like that. I wanted to appreciate the flying rather than just looking at it from behind the camera. So it's only a few minutes of video, but you'll see the way that it's being flown. And then there's a lot of background muttering. There were a lot of people there watching this plane being flown, and in fact, we did hand over the transmitter to other people and tried other things, and then after they flew that, they also got the opportunity to fly some of our World War I aircraft as well. But I'll let you watch the video now, and really appreciate you watching this video, and I hope the Banshee, if you do decide to purchase it, will bring you a lot of fun and a lot of joy. Thanks. See you later. Bye.
What's your name, sir? George Jones. So we've got George Jones flying tonight.
Have a nice flight, guys.
Wood Springs Wings 2023. Oh, nice.
He's gone for the biggest plane of the day, now he's flying the smallest.
Look at the voodoo's. He's bloody brilliant.
I want John to fly that on those settings, John, and you can see what he's done and see if you agree with it.
Yeah.
Setting, yeah. He's trimmed it. I thought it was even better in the
Come on, we're both flying.
Oh no.
That is a joy to watch.
Security for the city.
It's a bit quirky here and there, but if you appreciate what it is, it's bloody brilliant. Even still.
Yeah, 10 points.